Oh, hey. Have you guys heard of Onyx and Amber's new Guest Blender series? Let's talk about the first batch. All right. This is going to be an interesting one because the trail has quite a bit of snow and ice on it, and I do not have any spikes on my shoes. So here we go. So Onyx and Amber, they are a pretty new non-distiller producer, or NDP, that came onto the scene, I think just earlier this year, to be honest with you. But the owner is Ben Rosen. Oh, my trail has a bridge that's out. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. So the owner is Ben Rosen, and Ben Rosen is no stranger to whiskey in general. He has been a longtime collector of whiskey, but then also started a whiskey group in Colorado called the Colorado Bourbon and Rye Club. He has been the head of that for a long time before he decided to start opening Onyx and Amber. And Onyx and Amber is cool because while he was leading up that group, I'm gonna go ahead and switch, he was also putting back some barrels that he found. So he was getting some MGP or whatever, and then he was aging it here in Colorado. We made it. What makes that important is that the Colorado aging environment is just very special. Because of the high altitude, it really has a huge impact on the whiskey itself and the way that whiskey interacts with the barrel. So a lot of times you get more concentration in flavor, you get some higher proof, you get just like this really nice, oily, rich mouthfeel. Now, it's not always the case, that's just a generalization, but as a whole, I love what Colorado does to a barrel. So for the last few months, or realistically all of 2025, this man has been out there sourcing barrels, doing single barrel picks. Groups across the country, stores across the country have been bringing in these single barrels, and they have been absolutely killer. Myself, alongside Lux Liquor in Castle Rock, Colorado, have actually done a few picks with Onyx and Amber, and they are easily some of the best value for what you're getting, and it's just like crazy picks. We did a 12-year MGP rye, 12-year MGP bourbon with a 21% rye mash bill, and it was absolutely insane. It reminded me of the old Blom Brothers whiskey, right? And then we also did a 14-year MGP 95.5 rye, and to me that rye smokes the competition with the ryes that you're getting of high age statements from other distilleries / other NDPs. So very impressed with what Onyx and Amber has been putting out. And then they went ahead and launched this Guest Blender series. Now, what's really unique about that is that he has built up a good amount of stocks with barrels that are aging in Colorado anywhere from 6 months to a few years. And then he's allowing someone to come in and blend and see what they can come up with. Now, what's really special about this first blend is who he chose to be the guest blender, which is Ryan Negley. Hopefully I said that right. Could be Ryan Negley. Either way, it's listed on the front of the barrel, or front of the bottle, which I really appreciate the transparency. I think the more information you can put out there, the better. Ryan was the master blender for Boulder Spirits over at Vapor Distillery. Why is that important? Because this man won continuous gold medals for his blending prowess while he was working for Boulder Spirits. So going back to Ben found all these barrels and let Ryan just kind of go wild and choose whatever barrels he needed to make this special first release of the Guest Blender series. And I think that it was a beautiful project. It really came together very well. And again, at a very affordable price point. You have a lot of like dusty caramel and old oak notes that are really interesting to me. It comes across much older than a lot of the components of the blend. And that's not to say that the blend is not old. The blend has a lot of really good age statements in it. If I'm not mistaken, it ranges anywhere from 8 to 12 years old. So it's nothing to scoff at all. And it comes in at an MSRP of $88, which is extremely affordable in today's market, especially for a cast strength, really well blended product. I really can't be mad at that at all. The dusty notes in this pour are seriously so good. It really brings out a lot of that bourbon of old type stuff. Like, if you ever had an MGP bourbon from like 10 years ago, the ones that everyone chases under like Old Scout and stuff like that, this kind of reminds me a bit of the qualities that you would get from that. And then it brings in like, not a medicinal cherry, but like just like a nice rich cherry, like the classic MGPs, right? And then it brings in those dusty characteristics. It just tastes so good. And for the price, again, I can't harp on that enough. It is such a good value and such a good first release from Onyx and Amber. I'm extremely impressed. And on a cold day like today, man, it is just hitting so good. So enough of the dusty quality that I keep talking about. What else is going on here? There is layers of just your really classic bourbon notes with your caramels and your vanilla. You get some of that oak. And then what I like is that this brings forward a lot of the sweet, fruity notes. So it really just envelops that easy, approachable, crushable pour type situation. There isn't a lot of darker notes. So like me personally, I'm a huge fan of the darker side of the house with your leathers and your tobacco. And I don't get a lot of that here, but I also don't really miss it because of everything else that's happening. Just go get it. Like, there's no reason not to. And it's what's nice is that you don't have to worry about the single barrel store, who picked it, what their palate is, blah, 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 blah. With this being a blend, it's a good idea to kind of, or it's a good way to see what Ben is working with over at Onyx and Amber, and just kind of give you some faith in the barrels that he has and what he's able to put out. I could smell this all day. It smells so good. If you're not familiar with me, I do all of my ratings on a pretty simple scale. The ratings are hoard it for the ones that you should get and then just get another one of. Buy it, which is kind of your general, just like, this is really dang good whiskey, you should go grab it. A try it, which is essentially, it could be good, could be something I really love even, but it might not be for everybody. And then pass, which is something that's either the value is way out of whack or the quality of the whiskey is just not there and they need to do a little bit better. So for this one personally, I think I'm actually gonna give it a hoard it rating. It's kind of right on the cusp of buy it and hoard it, but this is something, with it being the first Guest Blender series, having Ryan as the Guest Blender, having the quality be as high as it is, especially for the low MSRP, I want one to drink and I want a backup to be able to just put on the shelf. I think this is a really cool release. And I honestly think this will be something, if someone comes to visit and they're like, oh yeah, like show me some Colorado whiskey. Not everybody loves the terroir driven profile behind a lot of Colorado whiskey, but this right here, this is so easy to drink. And I know it's an NDP, but with it being aged in Colorado barrels, with it being a master blender from Colorado, It's got all the Colorado in it. Just grab this, grab 2 if you can, enjoy it, and support Onyx and Amber. With all that out of the way, I am a small channel, so please like, subscribe, do all the things to help build up my presence. I would greatly appreciate it. And if nothing else, may your trails be empty and your glass is full. Cheers.